My name is Jason Van Ruler, and I want to help you have dramatically better conversations by learning more about communication. By the way, I'm a therapist that works a lot with leaders, couples, and individuals who are looking to sort through what seems messy to find clarity, to find a way out, to find a way to better connection, better decisions, and emotional health and maturity. And along the way, what I've learned over and over again is communication is really important. So important, in fact, that I wrote a book about it called Discovering Your Communication Type. You can find more info about this on my website. But for now, I just want to talk to you about how do we actually engage in conversation that's going to make us better at conversation, but also help us to be dramatically more connected. Because I think anyone who's ever struggled with communication, the reason it mattered to them at all is because they wanted to be more connected. At the end of the day, that's why we communicate. We all want to be seen, heard, and understood. But here's what's also true, is a lot of us don't feel that way. We maybe live in a relationship, or we're in a marriage, or we're at a workplace or friends where we don't feel seen, heard, or understood. And there are some predictable things that we can change and we can look at to identify how to do this better. That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So the first thing is you have to have some self-awareness and understand how you're coming across. Now, in doing my research, it's been fantastic and very surprising to me to learn that while 95% of us, as much as 95% of us believe that we are self-aware, the truth is, Tasha Eurich talks about this, the truth is 10 to 15% of us actually are. And so what that means is that a lot of us approach communication and conversation and we feel like this is what we're saying, right? So if you go, hey, everything I'm talking about and trying to convey to you is about this, but if we don't have self-awareness, we don't understand it, sometimes it's received way over here. And that gap, my friends, between what we think we're saying and what we think we mean and how it's received and what people actually receive and hear and interpret based on what we say is oftentimes responsible for the disconnection. And so one of the best things that we can do if we want to get better at communication and we want to change how we approach those conversations is to ask the people we want to connect with how they're receiving what we're saying. And that doesn't have to be in the form of a quiz or long form assessment or something like that. It can just be as simple as, when I'm talking to you today, what are you hearing me say, if you're honest? Or if I'm speaking to you, what's the tone you feel like I have? Or does it seem like what I'm saying is what I actually feel? Those are important conversations. And I'm going to tell you that you don't have to ask everybody because not everyone's going to give you a straight answer. Especially if you're a leader, sometimes this question is not so helpful for an employee or someone who looks up to you because they're going to be very tempted to give you an answer you want to hear. And they're going to say, nope, you're great. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. What we're trying to actually look for is people who will tell us an honest interpretation or an honest experience of what it's like to talk with us. As a therapist, I meet with people all the time and they tell me how they think they are as a communicator. We'll talk about this and I'll say, how do you think you come across? What do you think people experience when they hear you? What do you think your posture or your tone indicates to others? And they'll spend a lot of time giving me all the right things, right? They'll say, well, I think I'm friendly and people want to engage with me and I seem like you could talk to me and I'm a great listener. And what I'll learn is that engaging in conversation maybe doesn't always feel that way. And sometimes the most helpful thing that I can do is just say to someone, I'm not sure if that's how other people are experiencing you. I know it's what you mean, and I'm not trying to diminish that, but let's be honest, a lot of problems in communication are not about what someone meant. A lot of people don't want conflict. We want to be heard. We want to be understood. And so what we mean is to connect, but that's not always what's experienced. So the first thing you can do to have dramatically better conversations is to ask some people what it's like to talk with you. The next thing that you can do is you can return the favor and you can help other people know what it's like to talk to them. The times in relationships where we have the most disconnect are when two people are both struggling with self-awareness related to how they communicate. And when this happens on both sides, what we have is a real divide and we can't really even work it out because we're both going to argue what we meant. And when people get into this kind of cycle of arguing what they meant, it can feel like they're justifying, they're being defensive, they're being guarded, they're minimizing. And all of those things are kind of true because that person is saying, well, you're missing the point. This is what I meant. This is what I was trying to say. This is how it should have come across to you. And instead, what we need to shift to is this is what I experienced. This is how I felt when you said, this is what I noticed. This is what I thought you wanted me to take away. And then we can start to shift and sort out and give clarity to what actually needed to happen. So self-awareness is going to be the first thing for you. Self-awareness for them is going to be the second thing. And then number 3 is understanding why you're communicating. Now, again, in my new book, I talk about this, and you can get the book. I think it's going to dig into so much of this in greater detail, which could be really helpful for you. But regardless, I want to give you a couple things to go on. When you understand the why behind why you communicate, and I want you to think about this. We all have a why for why we communicate. And that why we communicate is why we choose the words we choose, what we hope to get, what we hope the outcome of the conversation is. And in my book, the way that I've written it at least, I've seen 5 predictable types. Number 1 being someone is a peacemaker. They communicate because they want peace. They want to feel calm, content. They want to buff out the rough spots and make sure everyone's okay. Number 2 is the advocate. They want it to be fair and right and just, and they kind of say something when they feel like something bad is happening and no one's advocating. The T is the thinker, and the thinker talks about what's precise and what's accurate and factual. The H is the harbor, and they talk about their feelings and make space for other people's feelings. And the spark is about having communication that's energetic and fun and motivating. Now, regardless of which one you are, understanding that and understanding others is going to help you know how you show up. And then what we can start to refine is, how am I presenting myself? What's my posture? If I'm leaning in like this and I'm really close, there's intensity. But if I'm leaning out a lot, you're going to feel like I'm not really invested. If I'm turned over here and I'm looking at this, you don't feel like I'm really wanting to hear what you're saying. Or if I've got my friend the phone here and I'm looking at this as you're talking, I don't feel like you're really too interested or paying attention. And so once we kind of know our style, we know how other people experience us, we can start to do things like improve the environment, take note of our posture, take note of our tone, take note of how we come across to others, and we can start to speak differently in a way that actually resonates with others. So I want you just to take a second, and I want you to think through right now, just take a few notes. How do I think I come across to others? And in a relationship where I maybe struggle with communication with the other person the most, how do I take away from what they're saying? What do I take away when they speak to me? How do I interpret that? And then could I have a conversation with that person, both about how I experience them and how they experience me, and then try to sort out what is the middle ground there and what is actually true, and how do I have compassion and grace for how they've experienced me, even if it's not what I meant. If you do these things, you practice these 3 things, you will have much less conflict and a lot greater connection.